Let's begin what's trending in the United States, where President Donald Trump has doubled down on his claims of a Christian genocide in Nigeria. Well, in a new video released by the White House media team on Wednesday, Trump reiterated his stance that Christianity is facing an existential threat and vowed to defend Christians in Nigeria. Let's take a look.
He is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition. When the Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done. I am asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and to report back to me. And I mean, like, immediately. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. It's not only Nigeria, it's all over. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. This is not going to happen. The killing of Christians is not going to happen.
Well, this latest statement by Trump suggests that his administration remains unconvinced by Nigerian rebuttals and may proceed with threatened sanctions or even military actions. Well, Ted Cruz has been talking, and I'll read his post on X yesterday. He read, it reads, Joe Biden turned a blind eye while radical Islamic terrorists slaughtered Christians in Nigeria. I am very grateful to President Trump for designating it a country of particular concern. Now, we should take the next step and hold Nigerian officials accountable. I intend to be very explicit about who they are in the coming days and weeks. Before I come to you, I'll take this. Well, on February 14th, 2024, Bishop Wilfred Chikwa Anaigbe of the Catholic Diocese of Makurdi made serious allegations before the United States Congress alleging systematic killings of Christians farming communities in Benue State, claiming that over 1,000 Christians had been killed, over 160 churches destroyed, and large swaths of land seized in the past decade. The bishop also testified on March 12, 2025, before the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Africa, accompanied by Reverend Father Remigius Iluha. Let's take a look.
Constitutionally, we are a secularist country, but our unity has been fragile. Political and religious actions and even public speech have been carefully managed to avoid accusations of religious bias. A long-term Islamic agenda to homogenize the population has been implemented over several presidencies through a strategy to reduce and eventually eliminate the Christian identity of half of the population. The quest to Islamize the land appears high on the agenda of some of the powerful and influential Muslims in Nigeria. There is a campaign to take land to spread Islam, and there is the hemorrhaging of Christian farmers from the central region of Nigeria and Benue State, and Makurdi Diocese in particular, as they are forced to abandon fertile lands that use to feed the nation, which classify Benue as the food basket of the nation. Militant Fulani herdsmen are terrorists destroying society. They steal and vandalize, they kill and boast about it. They kidnap and rape, and they enjoy total impunity from the elected authorities. None of them have been arrested and brought to justice. This is supported by the corrupt system in which we operate and the abject poverty among us, which allow the criminals to easily attract more recruits and prey on more victims. At the end of 2024, several villages were warned by the attackers of the upcoming violence, and the leaders called the police for defense ahead of time. But they did not come, and the Christian massacres, almost customary, took place, killing hundreds in Plateau and Benue. The militant also burned down the 8 Catholic churches of St. Mary's Parish in the Diocese of Boko, which in Benue State, as well as the parish house, clinics, schools, and other houses. We live in fear because at any point it can be our turn to be killed, but to remain silent is to die twice. So I have chosen to speak I speak on behalf of the millions who are in the camps. I speak on behalf of those whose loved ones have been killed, but no one has even offered a word of consolation to them. I speak on behalf of the thousands of young girls who have been adopted and raped because no one, not even the media, mentions them anymore. Foremost, I speak on behalf of my flock who are unable to worship freely and unable to return to their ancestral farms and homes because that land has been ruthlessly taken from them by the armed herdsmen. I request and I plead, I ask you to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern.
The bishop there requesting for Nigeria to be redesignated as a country of particular concern. Well, the bishop's testimony highlights the deep contested narrative around religious violence in Nigeria, while the bishop presents specific allegations of systematic targeting. Government officials maintain that terrorism affects all Nigerians regardless of faith. This leaves international observers to navigate the competing accounts of Nigeria's complex security challenges. And Rufai, so we've seen the bishop here and, other senators in America and, journalists across the globe submitting these sort of reports of what the bishop had described as a cleansing of Christians in the farmlands in his area. You heard him cry out. And we've seen these reports reverberate across the world right now after Trump's singular tweet. Your thoughts? People have said, oh, Trump didn't have evidence, Trump doesn't have information. But we don't have the information that the U.S. Department of State has at this moment.
Oji, God bless you for playing that tape. But you see, after playing that tape, I will still tell you that what that priest did report is still underreporting because many of the cases are not reported. I read out a message about a vicar in Kaduna today, 600 million being asked. Many cases like that. But Oji, because I know the country I am from, I keep saying, let us stop the killings. Because the country I am from has now changed the conversation about Christians and Muslims, which is never the case. The point is, how will people commit crime and the state does not bring them down? And the state does not act as a deterrent from them to keep committing that crime. That's what I have a problem with. So that's why I campaign for stopping the killing. Because in the last 1 week, the conversation has shifted to which religion is being killed the most. And please, we should never fall into that confusion because it's that kind of confusion the political actors want. In all of this, none of them have come out to say, these are the advised steps we are going to take to stop the killings. The conversation has been, call Trump a liar, pit religions against each other, make a case that others too are being killed. But does it stop the killing of people?
No.
It doesn't.
No.
So please, the charge for the Nigerian government today, and the charge for everybody, Christians and Muslims and Shakmono worshippers and Ifa worshippers, we should all be united. We are all Nigerians.
All right.
The question is, how can we stop this killing?
Right.
The government should be charged to stop this killing.
Right.
If they're going to employ more military, if they're going to employ more security architecture, stop the killing. That's all we want.
That's the main point. And it is quite, it was good to see the federal government engage with journalists yesterday during that press conference. And I believe that the minister is saying that Nigeria is willing to collaborate, which is the main point that I keep stressing here with, the United States to tackle this menace. Meanwhile, in the wake of China's disapproval of Trump's threat of military action in Nigeria as part of, efforts to protect Christians from persecution. A 2023 report by British newspaper, The Times, alleged that Chinese nationals in Nigeria's mining sector are funding terrorist groups to secure access to the country's mineral reserves. The exclusive investigation, which has resurfaced online, suggests that through bribes and illegal transactions, Beijing could be indirectly funding terror in Nigeria. Well, according to research from SBM Intelligence, a Lagos-based analytical group, Chinese companies operating in conflict zones have been striking security deals with insurgents. The report revealed videos of militant leaders boasting that Chinese workers must pay them rent to operate in their territories, particularly in Zamfara and other northwestern states. Some Chinese nationals working informally as miners serve as runners for militant groups and control gold mining operations across remote areas. The report noted that Chinese contractors often smuggle minerals out illegally, with several arrests recorded, including 27 miners in Osun State in 2020 and a Chinese citizen jailed for 5 years in October for processing 25 tons of lithium-containing minerals. Well, this investigative report adds another complex international dimension to Nigeria's security crisis. The report highlights the menace of resource exploitation, raising questions about which foreign actors are truly destabilizing Nigeria and why. Senator Adam Soshomole also accused China of stealing Nigeria's resources and arming bandits and terrorist groups to protect their illegal mining sites. The former Edo State governor made the allegations in January this year. Let's take a look.
Involved in this illegal mining, they use choppers. They procure arms exactly the same way as our military were doing in the South. They give them arms, they use choppers to come and cut away the gold, and they take them out of this country and make billions of US dollars. And the federal government is not doing what it should be doing. I took this letter to the former president when I was national chairman of APC, and I said, call the general to give you more brief. In fact, what is happening, or what subsequently happened in that part of the country, was exactly what the general told me was going to happen. Because these guys have been weaponized by the illegal big men who deploy them, secure territories, and the weapon is meant to protect the Chinese and other foreigners who they actually employ to carry out the mining. And on occasion, they use the same weapon to carry out banditry, kidnapping, and all of the terrible things that are going on.
All right, Ayo Adam Soshomole's statement highlights what many see as hypocrisy in China's position on Nigeria's security crisis. While Beijing has criticized Trump's intervention threats, allegations suggest Chinese mining operations may be directly contributing to the violence by funding and arming the very groups terrorizing Nigerian communities. Ayo, we've seen these reports.
So there's so many dimensions to this story, and it ties in with all that we have discussed earlier today. Number one is that yesterday we had said to be cautious about praising China's speaking up for Nigeria against the Trump's announcement and designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. At the end of the day, as has been mentioned, no one has the interest of Nigeria, or no country is altruistic in their interventions or diplomatic conversations with a nation. It's always country first. If only Nigeria too, in playing in this table, can put country first. I say this because Oji, it's not for a lack of intelligence or a lack of information, because we have had a number of people come out to make very significant claims like this, as the Senator Adams Oshomole had made on the floor of the Senate. Number one, we had a list released from Dubai around the financiers of banditry. We've had Nasir El Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State, give explosive interviews around the people who are funding or enabling banditry and territory. We've had a number of people, high-ranking people, come out to tell us who and who. But I said it and I continue to say it. It is the will to deal with these people. Yes. And so while we're congratulating the DSS for what they've done, when I was looking, I was like, oh, these are the small fries. Deal with the big fries, the ones that are actually behind it, the ones that are funding it. We love it, that they are coming to come and tell the people that are doing the legwork. Yeah. But let us go after the ones that are enabling it, because if you deal with these ones, as long as the enablers are still there, we will have an uproot of others who are willing to do the legwork, as long as money is there. Finally, at the end of this note, the former CDS had said that every time they apprehended terrorists, they found foreign currencies with them. Who are the people funding them? Exactly. There's foreign intervention or interference. Why are we not talking about that? So let's celebrate all these things, but we know the real issues. Until we tackle the real issues and have the political will to to cut off the head of the big wigs. We're not going anywhere. So let us be very honest about this.
We don't have leaders that think of the interests of Nigeria.
That's
Pure
the interest of
and
the few.
simple.
The
It's
Chinese
just
have
the interest of their own
complicity.
pockets.
They do.
They cannot
That's
at
just
this
it.
point, when you see
That's what's killing
cannot
Nigeria.
come to our nation
Yes.
without
Yes.
complicity by people on ground.
On
Yes.
ground.
So who are the
That's
ones on
just
ground that are
it. We
working
don't
with
have
them?
leaders that love our country.
When you see
Today we have
reports,
Nigeria
when
move
you see
forward.
reports like this is what it is. It's evidence that these are the issues. But at the end of the day, we must tackle insecurity. We must tackle the people that are killing Nigerians. Before we take our mouse story, let me take this one. Meanwhile, former Niger Delta militant leader Asari Dokubo has issued a stark warning to Trump against any military intervention in Nigeria. Well, in a viral Facebook video, Dokubo delivered a defiant message warning that if the U.S. comes to Nigeria, they will all die, adding that Nigeria will become their graveyard. Let's take a look.
Then come. Let Trump come with his America, and with you people, you all die. This lunatic. He wants to annex Canada. He wants Iceland. He wants to kill the president of Venezuela. He wants to kill the supreme leader of Iran. He wants to finish up Yemen. This sick lunatic. And that's why when they talk about America is a sick country, a country of mad people, insane people. And that's why they can elect a mad, insane idiot, a lunatic. Let them come down. Maybe they'll fly in the air. They will come down. When they come down, whether they will live here.
All right, Asari Dokubo, he has a militia.
Asari.
He's threatening the most powerful man in the world with his
and he has not been able to stamp his foot on insecurity.
Yes.
And he's cashing trips.
Yes.
We think it's a joking matter.
It's not a joke.
It's comedy.
Yes.
You know my reaction to what
Tell
is
us.
70-year-old man.
Who's that? He's 70? Is he 70? Is Asari 70? No, he's not up to 70. What does that mean?
Only you don't get the joke.
Dealing
This
with
is the
terrorists.
tell me what it
Let them
means,
take
yes.
him to the forest.
It's
first of all.
Asari himself that used to say 70-year-old
Oh,
man.
I didn't even know that.
No,
Okay.
him, the joke is on him.
Please.
70-year-old man.
So now I want to charge Asari Dokubo, since he knows that he can defeat, the Trump
He should go ahead
and all
now.
of the military. There is the Sambisa forest.
wait.
No, you can just take your people to Sambisa forest right now.
Wait.
Make a hero out of yourself right now. We are ready for you. We're ready for you, Asari.
Have you
Please.
seen the video of Asari doing press up?
No, I haven't. But he has
he's
a group.
ready.
He has
But-
mercenaries. Yes, have you seen his? Yeah.
You see, that's part of the
All right.
illegality in Nigeria.
All right.
Who is he that
Right.
we have a group that will have guns
Yes.
and have weapons?
Right.
But all of this is to smoothing his way into President Tinubu again.
Yes.
Because they really fought at some point. They really
Yes.
said, no, it's one turn by turn at a point.
Yes, absolutely.
This country in a crook.
Yes.
Should people be having guns? Should people like Asari have people or brigade that have guns? You see, that's part
Those are
of
the
the
questions.
insecurity we are talking in this
Those are the
country.
questions. How do they have the approval to have the guns and all of that? Well, all
be
right,
deceiving
that's another
ourselves.
topic that I thought was important to highlight as well, because we're seeing very many dimensions to the insecurity that we are facing in Nigeria, from mining to religious persecution to kidnapping. All of these insecurity needs to be tackled by the Nigerian government.